Previously on the falsehood. Previously on the falsehood, a post made about Donald Trump on Facebook in reaction to an election. Let's take a look. Can we see the whole thing? Maybe not. Well, I can read the whole thing at any rate. If a barrage of cabinet appointments of people who have vowed to dismantle their destination agencies is not a direct attack on America, then what is it? Is there not some protection for the citizens of the U.S. under this campaign of assaults? The people approaching the White House to assume peaceful control of the executive branch are showing antagonizing hostility to the Fourth Estate and sow the seeds. Sow is misspelled there, S-O-W it should be. The people approaching the White House to assume peaceful control of the executive branch are showing an agonizing hostility to the Fourth Estate and sow the seeds of endless tactical disinformation. These attacks on actual truth and actual freedom are happening every hour of the day. This may be a devastating act of civic and infrastructural vandalism. Many things may be destroyed. That's just the things. There will be more. Data, reality, people, human rights, our habitat. We are dealing with a war criminal in the making. He fits right in with Kim Jong-un. American Gaddafi has begun the looting of American democracy and what remains of our republic. Who looked at Donald Trump and thought, yes, he should be free to kill with impunity. He respects and deserves the power over life and death. Who thinks he hasn't already been a part of murder? Who thinks Trump should have a license to kill? Trump shouldn't even be allowed to own his own gun because his insanity and instability and ignorance disqualify him. Absolutely unsafe. Hashtag, now he has a license to kill. When was this written? This post is from December 27th, 2016. This post is from December 27th, 2016. There we go. It is a barrage of cabinet appointments of people who have vowed to dismantle. If a barrage, let's start again. This is written it's written 7 years ago. If a barrage of cabinet appointments of people who have vowed to dismantle their destination agencies is not an attack on America, then what is it? Is there not some protection for the citizens of the U.S. under this campaign of assaults? The people approaching the White House to assume peaceful control of our executive branch are showing antagonizing hostility to the Fourth Estate and sow the seeds of endless tactical disinformation. These attacks on actual truth and actual freedom are happening every hour of the day. This may be a devastating act of civic and infrastructural vandalism. Many things may be destroyed. That's just the things. There will be more. Data, reality, people, human rights, our habitat. We are dealing with a war criminal in the making. He fits right in with Kim Jong-un. American Gaddafi has begun the looting of American democracy and what remains of our republic. Who looked at Donald Trump and thought, yes, he should be free to kill with impunity. He respects and deserves the power over life and death. Who thinks he hasn't already been a part of murder? Who thinks Trump should have a license to kill? Trump shouldn't even be allowed to own his own gun because his insanity and instability and ignorance disqualify him. Absolutely unsafe. Now he has a license to kill. This was written 7 years ago, yesterday. December 27th, 2016. We have been in an abusive relationship with Trump for approximately 8 years now, including the campaign. And it is time to recognize that this siege was legible then. And we need to see this devastating Nazi iceberg coming and apprehend it. We need to disable the ability of this kind of menace to safety. We need to make all of us safe from fascism. And everything about what Donald Trump has been doing it's right here, and we're soaking in it, and it's right here on the screen in front of us, legible 7 years ago as what was coming. Who is the falsehood? Such a license again. This was legible 7, 8 years ago. There is no reason for us to buckle and submit. That is what Charlie Kirk and Stephen Miller and Donald Trump and Steve Bannon and Marjorie Taylor Greene expect and desire and are terrorizing all of us to achieve. But we must stand together for the future of humanity. We must stand together. You are in an abusive relationship. Shocking boundary violations are one common grooming tactic of a narcissist or dark triad personality. If someone in your life points into a camera knowing you'll be looking at the view screen and pulls their finger like a trigger, looking into your eyes, saying, "I could shoot someone in the street and not lose anyone," it is a good indicator of a bad situation. You are in an abusive relationship. Who has leveraged and climbed upon a fog of falsehood? Who has donned the falsehood? Who is the falsehood?
Sets the fear of separation. 6, the fear of separation. He didn't mean to cause a panic. He didn't mean to cause a panic. Prepared people can plan and plan quick. He didn't mean to cause a panic. He meant to draw iceberg Titanic.
How long does a body take having its private parts grabbed? How long do you take being coerced to accept molestation? How long do you watch an iceberg coming to crush your body before you take some action? to save your life and limb. Who has imperiled democracy? Who is the falsehood?
Baby, I don't understand why we can't just hold on to each other's hands. Baby, baby, I don't understand why we can't just hold on to each other's hands. This time might be the last I fear, unless I make this all too clear. I need you so. Whoa. Take these broken wings and learn to fly again. Learn to live so free. When we hear the voices sing, the book of love will open up and let us in. Take these broken wings. Baby, I think tonight we can take what was wrong and make it right. Baby, it's all I know that you're half of the flesh and blood that makes me whole. Need you so. Take these broken wings and learn to fly again. Learn to live so free. When we hear the voices sing, the book of love will open up and let us in. Take these broken wings. You've got to learn to fly and live so free. When we hear the voices sing, the book of love will open up and let us in. Yeah, yeah. Let us in. yeah. Take these broken wings and learn to fly, learn to live so free. When we hear the voices sing, the book of love will open and let's sing. Take these broken wings, you got to learn to fly and live so free. When we hear the voices sing, the book of love will open up and let's sing. Show us where to begin. It's all I know. It's all I need you so. I need you so.
What does it mean when someone comes together with someone in song? Coming together in song with people is a step that someone takes to show unity and to show support. That is what someone does to aid and comfort someone they want to better the outcome for. Donald Trump has a lot on his plate, and yet Donald Trump thought it was worth recording a song of protest in solidarity with criminals who had committed sedition and obstructed the certification of votes on January 6th, participating in insurrection. What possible reason would there be for Donald to visit those prisoners other than to give them aid and comfort? And what possible reason would there be to manifest a single tugging at nationalistic, traumatized, fascistic heartstrings? People went to visit Martin Luther King Jr. in jail as a show of support for the struggle that Martin Luther King was in the midst of. And someone showing up to support January 6th prisoners, criminals and convicts of sedition and who aided sedition. Someone showing up in support of those people is aligning with those seditioners, is aligning and clarifying where they stand, and releasing a song that celebrates and lionizes January 6th prisoners and seditious criminals is a seditious act for Donald Trump to have undertaken. For Donald Trump to write, to perform a song with those people is maybe the clearest possible way to align himself. Indeed, he formed a band with those seditioners. He formed a band of literal treasonous outlaws and terrorists against the United States. That's the band that released music that President Trump wanted Americans to celebrate against America. What kind of madman, what kind of lunatic what kind of monomaniacal dark triad predator what kind of monster would lionize January 6th prisoners who attacked the United States unless he wants to be seen as an attacker of the United States himself? That is exactly what he said and did. Just on what planet is it at all reasonable for a sitting president to spend time giving aid and comfort to terrorists who tried to overthrow the country? The only reason for him to do that is to have their support and to band together with them. He went and he recorded a piece of music such that he would be such that Donald Trump would be stepping into the role of a dictator creating tyranny. Here we are. So this is what we're looking at here. We see this single. He has formed a band with January 6th prisoners. He has formed a band with insurrectionists and said that they have been treated unfairly. These are acts of sedition, plain and simple. This is someone telling us where he's going to knock the next pitch. He is calling where he is going to hit that ball. And he is going for liberty's head. There is no reason to assert a provable falsehood except to coerce people to take a lie whenever you want to shit it into our faces. Donald Trump remains at large. Although Donald Trump has told us to submit, although Donald Trump has literally sent stochastic terrorist attack repeatedly and against gag orders, and although he should be in jail, he is not. And what does that mean? That means that we are not paying attention to what Donald Trump has said. Donald Trump has said he only wants to be a dictator on day one. That is batshit insane. Let's try something out here. How about he only wants to be a rapist on day one. How does that sound like a thing? Does that sound like it's a thing that is legible, that makes any sense at all? He only wants to devastate human rights. He only wants to commit mass murder on day one. Does that stand up to scrutiny as a thing that makes any sense? Would it make sense if Donald Trump joked or stated that he only wants to be a rapist on day one? Would it make sense at all? Would it make sense if Donald said he only wants to commit mass murder on day one? Would that comfort anyone? We are experiencing shocking boundary violations. Shocking boundary violations, including a coercive declaration, that Project 2025 is coming or else. Fascists only do that. Fascists only call a shot when they believe they have a cakewalk on their hands. Donald Trump believes that we have already submitted. Donald Trump believes that America has already submitted. Donald Trump and Project 2025 believe that Americans have already submitted to Donald Trump. And I would like to say that someone who we allow to joke about being a dictator for a day after they seized and suspended the certification of elections, after he tried to seize power away from democracy and away from the choice of the American voters. The thing about shocking boundary violations and a cult leader who uses embarrassing beliefs to hook and drag people under, the contemptuous violence of requiring that people believe lies they know the facts that disprove those lies, that he makes people spread themselves across a barrel and take what they don't want to take, if only because they don't have to say no to a violent, dark triad predator and abuser. We need to wake up and realize that these Nazis actually mean to murder millions of people. These Nazis are a danger to the future of humanity. It is time for us to wake up now, or these malicious and truly bloodthirsty Nazis will come to murder people. These Nazis employ Darvo, and it's good, Scoop Troop, to keep those pens handy for tips like this one. Remember Darvo, that dark triad predators and narcissists will deny and then attack to discredit someone holding them accountable. That they will deny and then attack to reverse the victim and the offender. We are the reality distortion ourselves, fielding in the world, and we are correctable. We can see Nazis and apprehend their iceberg.
I made a speech. I looked out. The field was, it looked like 1.5 million people. They showed a field where there were practically nobody standing there.
The new White House press secretary, Sean Spicer, gave his first press briefing. He was also highly critical of some media organisations of the way he felt they had misrepresented the number of people who'd attended Friday's inauguration ceremony.
No one had numbers because the National Park Service, which controls the National Mall, does not put any out. This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period, both in person and around the globe.
It does not excuse, and you did not answer the question.
I did answer your question.
No, you did not. You did
Yes,
not
I
answer
did.
the question of why the president asked the White House press secretary to come out in front of the podium for the first time and utter a falsehood. Why did he do that? It undermines the credibility of the entire White House press office
No, it
on day
doesn't. Don't be so overly dramatic about it, Chuck. You're saying it's a falsehood, and Sean Spicer, our press secretary, gave alternative facts to that.
This was the largest ever. This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period, both in person and around the globe.
in front of that podium to utter a provable falsehood.
What indeed could possibly be the reason? What possible reason would Donald Trump ever have for supporting and banding together with January 6th insurrectionists, except to telegraph that he is an insurrectionist? Always has been and always was. When someone says he will pardon those people, that they have been unfairly treated, when he offers a quid pro quo, an exchange of pardon for votes that allow him to pardon himself and escape accountability for crimes against the United States, we truly are experiencing massive distortions in the field of reality. Massive distortions in the field of reality. Massive distortions in the field of our shared reality. Otherwise, we would easily see that someone who is cavorting and associating with, let alone forming a band and singing songs of protest and unity with insurrectionists. Donald Trump has signaled that he is a Nazi, and he has signaled that he is an insurrectionist. And perhaps most importantly, he still holds the weapon of insurrection. To this day, Donald Trump holds the weapon of insurrection. Who is the falsehood? Leading our way out of the labyrinth of the falsehood, a thread, a yarn, is a story. That yarn, that thread, can intersect, and the yarn can gather into a ball